Okay, it's live.
Okay, let's see.
But nothing on LinkedIn. Oh.
Check.
Hello, everyone. It's a great pleasure to see all of you gathered today because we are learning how to prepare for BCI and Neurotech Spring School 2025, the biggest event in the field of BCI and Neurotech in the whole world. And the biggest part of it, the most beautiful part of it, that it's all online. It's free education in BCI and Neurotech, and you can join the school from any part of the world. It's education worth hundreds and even thousands of dollars, which you even can claim in your university, in your school as a credit. So let's learn how to take advantage of this amazing opportunity. So I would like to introduce Dr. Christoph Guger, whose idea was to create this event during the difficult time of COVID. Yes, so that was the time when we were all trapped in our houses, but we still wanted to learn. We still wanted to find out new things about exciting research and opportunities in neurotech, and he did it. So, and we also have Dr. Tomasz Rutkowski, who is presenting at school all this time. He does amazing research on right now EEG and FNIRS combinations and application in BCIs. So let's start with Christoph and ask him, Christoph, how did you come up with this idea of making this event the biggest, the largest in the world, and what was behind it? What idea was behind it? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Milena. So this was actually triggered with COVID. So suddenly here in Austria, we had a lockdown and nobody was allowed to go to work or to go to any conference anymore. This was basically the same within a few days for the whole world. So we figured out that there will not be any single conference or meeting in the next few weeks or months. So nobody knew how long this would take. And so we decided to organize a Zoom event, the BCI and Neurotechnology Spring School, the first day. And within a week, so I just invited people. And within 7 days, we had the program together and launched Spring School. And actually, we expected to get like 80 or maybe, if we are lucky, 100 people. But then it turned out that, if I remember correctly, that we were hitting 3,000 people joining Spring School in the first year. And then people were just asking to do it again. So we continued to reorganize it. So it got a little bit longer, but we stayed with 10 days of education over the years. It's just becoming so popular that many people want to speak. And if I send out the invitations, then people agree immediately to be part of Spring School. So this year, we're actually starting at 8 o'clock in the morning and we end at 10 p.m. So it's a long day, and there are no coffee breaks, there are no toilet breaks, nothing, just many hours of pure neurotechnology pleasure. And last year we had even more than 80,000 people watching at the same time the talk from Dr. Milena Korostenskaya. So your talk actually attracted the highest number of people watching at the same time, which is very nice, Milena. Very well done.
Thank you so much. And how many people attended the school last year, Christoph?
So we had actually people registered in Zoom, and then we had a YouTube live stream, and then we had it on WeTransfer, on WeChat, sorry, mainly in Southeast Asia and China. And with all the live streams and Zoom, altogether we had about 86,000 people attending. But very nice is that more than 80,000 people were really watching at the same time a single talk. And this is something that's really big, because if you compare it with the Society of Neuroscience meeting, which is the biggest conference that's happening for many, many years, then the presidential lecture gets maybe 10,000 people watching at the same time, and we had 80,000 people watching from more than 110 countries in the world.
That's absolutely amazing, and I'm sure that this year we will break even that record. So let's learn what do people really like about this school. I know that Dr. Rutkovsky's students are attending
Sure.
the school. Yes. So can you share their experience? What do they find helpful? What do they find useful in this school and what it has to offer?
So I think the school is really fantastic because it has really review of all latest projects. So basically, instead of giving them introductory lecture, I tell them to attend the school because they can see all the latest developments. Also, very often there are some hands-on experiences, there are videos and so on, so they can really see the working ideas. And there is also a possibility to ask questions. And I would really kind of recommend everybody asking questions because you can really interact with the speaker after you write the presentation. So please maybe avoid asking about the job opportunities that could come later, but ask really good questions, because you can get really good feedback. And sometimes you can inspire the speaker because we are also looking for kind of inspirations. And good question could be very good inspiration. And maybe research together we can do globally.
Yes, I think that's a very good point. And as a neurocareers coach, I tell my students that probably just asking about the job firsthand is not the best way to approach people, but to first create connections. Yes. Show that you are interested, show that you understand that certain topic is really relevant to you, and find those topics. Yes, so that's what the school is for, and then connect with people who are doing things that are relevant to you. And then also what I would recommend from my perspective, to look what are the challenges in this specific area of interest, and then form questions. Okay, so and not only questions, possible solutions. What with your background you can contribute to this specific solution, and
Sure.
with this you can communicate already on a very different level, positioning yourself as somebody who can contribute. Yes, not only ask for an opportunity for a job, but also show how you can contribute to these solutions. Okay, okay, and Dr. Guger, okay, is asking to tell where we are from. Dr. Guger, it's for all of us, correct? For our presenters, or you are asking our
For the attendees, so that we know where they are.
for attendees. Okay, so dear attendees, so let's see what's going on. We have a huge chat going on, and all people are saying hello. We have so many people already attending. Hello, everyone. Hello, it's nice to see you. Hello from Tokyo. So if everyone can tell us where you are joining us from, that would be wonderful. So just send hello from Vilnius. Yes, I hope that there is somebody from Lithuania. Or hello from Krakow. Yes, in Poland. So if you can send us hellos from your cities, that would be wonderful. Mm-hmm. Very good. And we have David joining us here. David, can you introduce yourself and share your experience with attending spring school, presenting, and also about your students who have been attending it?
Okay, and thank you very much for your kind words, Milena. I'm actually a big fan of all the content that you have produced for us, BCI enthusiasts. And yeah, I will tell a little bit about my background. I had the chance to study in Germany, and in 2020 I joined and I founded one of the first BCI initiatives in the region. And since then, I have been very interested in BCI. And in the last years, I have been more and more interested in the aspect of young students, how young students are interacting with BCI technology. And since 2023, I have been working mainly on developing STEM curriculums that are using BCI devices to collect EEG data and then with hands-on experiences teach students how to how to collect data first. That data is then from your brain, and then they learn the principles of EEG and processing filters, and how very young students are quite amazing already learning these technologies at young age, and of course inspiring possible new neuroscientists. And I would guess that maybe I'm the host that is hosting the youngest participants maybe during the spring school. Last year I had students, majority under 14 age. I had some university students as well, but my main target is young students that are not really thinking about this as just an opportunity to contact companies for job opportunities. It's really for developing their own career and opening the possibilities of becoming a neuroscientist and understanding how to use this technology in a very practical way during the hackathons.
Yes, that is absolutely amazing. First of all, thank you for your kind words about the produced content. And second of all, I absolutely agree with you that that is an absolutely incredible opportunity to learn, to develop skills that you can use for your further career and application in your future work. I think that's absolutely amazing opportunity, and I was very surprised to hear that even people under the age 14 were able to participate. Yes, is that correct? So, can you share what were they able to produce during the hackathon? Also, to mention that an essential part of the BCI Spring School is BCI Hackathon. Yes, so this is what David was referring to. So what they were able to do
That's
during
true.
the
I think this kind of concept, that some students that are maybe 12 are able to connect the Python API of the Unicorn Black BCI. It would make sound like impossible, but the thing is, Chinese students are pretty good, and they learn a lot at very young age. And some of the students, the really talented students, they were already with 10 years old, mastering the really standard Python parts. Uh, just let me mute it here. And then 11, 12 years old, they have no issues to interact with new technologies because they have no idea about BCI, but they have a very clear understanding how to use an Python API, how to collect some signals that at the beginning they don't know where they come from, and later they understand, oh, this is EEG, this comes from my brain, from which region. And to be honest, the younger, the easiest for humans to absorb knowledge, and they digest this amount of knowledge in a way that, I think adults we can't at some point because we are so worried about so many other things. But these young participants, they are only there for really do their hackathon, and they are super active, and no sleep for 24 hours, no problem for them. For me, for them, no problem.
Yes, that's amazing. So this is a message for everyone who is listening, who will listen to this video, that you can come and participate at any age. Yes, you are 12 years old, 13, 14, 76, doesn't matter. You can still learn, create things, and use it for furthering your career. Yes, thank you so much, David, for mentioning that. And I see our chat is exploding. Oh my goodness. We have people from Spain, Iran, Austria, Turkey, India, Australia, then France, Greece, Kenya, Germany, Birmingham, yes, it's UK, Oxford, yes, we have Belgium, Philadelphia, Syria, Milan, Palestine. Belgrade, Croatia, Mexico City, so Warsaw. We have people from all over the world joining us. Thank you so much for providing all this information. It's great to see all of you interested in the event. And as we're now touching upon the hackathon, maybe you can write what are you expecting from hackathon, maybe the project that you are already planning on participating in. Okay, we will wait. And meanwhile, I would like to ask Christoph Guger to talk about the hackathon. So, Christoph, I understand that, yes, you created this, first of all, educational event for people to learn the theory, what's going on in the field. How did this idea of hackathon came into place? And also, what is this hackathon in general about, what people can expect during this hackathon portion of the BCI Spring School?
So this is actually coming from brain-computer interface workshops. We started about 25 years ago to organize these workshops, and then we were just going from one city to the next, to universities, and then we had lectures, but also practical exercises for people to touch a brain-computer interface. So this was pretty unique 25 years ago, because not many people have seen a brain-computer interface before, or they didn't know how to use the EEG system. And then we traveled, for example, along the East Coast in the USA, and we stopped at every major university, Duke University, Georgia Tech in Orlando. Milena was one of our hosts doing these workshops. And with these tours, we educated actually a lot of people. But then we also figured out that all the scientific conferences, there are a lot of PowerPoint presentations, but the practical exercise is actually missing. And then we started the first time in 2017 to organize hackathons. And we were just bringing a lot of different brain-computer interfaces to these hackathons. So our 256 channel systems, the wearable G Nautilus, the Unicorn Hybrid Black, and so on. And then people could actually touch brain-computer interfaces. They could learn how to assemble EEG electrodes or FNIRs. They could understand how EEG waves look like. They could acquire data, run different experiments, motometry, P300, SSVEPs. So at this time, not many labs around the world were actually able to run all these different BCI principles. But during the hackathon, people managed to get all these systems working in real time. And this is really nice because they controlled cursor on the screen, they controlled prosthetic hands, they were flying drones. This was all realized within 24 hours. Beforehand, people did or worked on offline brain-computer interfaces. This means they got data and then they analyzed it for a couple of months, but almost nobody was able to touch a real-time brain-computer interface. And this was possible in a hackathon. And then we just organized a couple of these hackathons per year in different countries, for example, in Honolulu, in Bari, in Miyazaki, in Japan, so all around the world. And interesting is also that neurosurgeons, neurologists, biomedical engineers, mechanical engineers, artists, high school students, all different types of people are attending. And in Bari, in Italy, for example, the high school team was winning the first Braineo award, and they were beating all the PhD students, and this was pretty fascinating. They had just very good programming skills, so within 24 hours they got the whole computer game working, which was BCI controlled, and it was well deserved. And a little bit funny was also that Rai Uno was coming, so this is the biggest Italian TV station, and they filmed the high school team actually controlling the BCI game during the hackathon.
Yeah, that is amazing. And Dr. Rutkowski, maybe you can share a project that your students completed during one of the BCI Spring School hackathons to inspire our viewers and listeners.
So basically, we have some students coming from the musical background, and they are very much interested to control music. With the BCI, we have all the delays. But they found out that very nice they can modulate the musical stream, so-called soundscape, which is basically not a music but kind of environment, with the alpha wave. So basically, this was kind of like concentration based. It was very, again, interesting because those were musicians. They never touched EEG before. They never did anything. During this hackathon, very quickly they could plug in. They were streaming this alpha wave through the LSL outside, and they could control their own device. It was really very nice. There was also one more project we did locally here. There was with a dance project, so there was a dance lady, and she was basically using the head movement plus alpha wave, very noisy signal. But these days with the beautiful Oscar filter, we can do everything, even while moving. And basically they're doing this kind of multimodally using the head movement plus the alpha wave level. Then again, they could control music and the performance. So it's quite interesting and very novel.
Yeah, it is. And what is important is that what you mentioned, that the person does not need necessarily to know programming, yes, and have very, very well developed technical skills to participate, yes, in this type of project. So from your perspective, what is the best way to prepare for this type of hackathon? What to bring in to this event?
So first, be very open-minded. If you have some pieces of software you think you can connect, it's very good to bring in. Basically, we can help you to connect with LSL, with Python. If you have some kind of half-cooked idea already outside even BCI, but some kind of control device, maybe small robot and so on, bring in, and we can very easily connect it, and then you can really control it with the brain. So basically, during a hackathon, everybody can learn this kind of how to put electrodes, how to get the signal out, and basically we can connect everything together. So bring your own ideas, and you have some software, bring it in, it's really wonderful to try.
Okay, yes, let's do it. And for those who cannot bring something in, for those who are joining online and they don't have a possibility, yes, to come somewhere to a certain place, so what would be the best approach? Maybe Dr. Guger, you have so much experience with students, how they can participate online.
There are two important things. So first of all, people can participate from home, just online via Zoom, or they can also use Skype or Slack, whatever they like to exchange information with other team members. But they can also visit one of our hosting institutes. So we have all around the world hosts, like David in Hangzhou, and they have brain-computer interfaces in their lab. So another one is in Mexico City, another one is in Vancouver, in New York, in Amsterdam, and so on. They're around the world. And these hosts accept also visitors. This is very nice because then you can really sit on a table with other people in teams and you can work together. So normally we put 5 to 8 people together. It's depending on the size of the hackathon. So normally during spring school, we have around 600 people attending. Then we have to put 8 people in a team. Otherwise, the presentations at the end of the hackathon would last too long. So that's the reason why we are working with bigger teams. And so if you have the chance to visit one of the hosts, this is very productive. But of course, it can be complicated to fly to another continent, to another country. For doing it, then you can also join a project that you like. So we have a couple of predefined projects, for example, programming projects, where you can program signal processing, data analysis experiments yourself, and you can come up with a new application. Can be, for example, a new computer game that you want to do, a new neuroscience experiments, whatever you like. You can also bring in your own hardware. So if you have at home, for example, a robotic device or a smart home environment, this could also be your contribution, and with the brain-computer interface, you try to control it. Then we have also artistic projects. So in this case, you can create paintings, for example, with the brain-computer interface. You can produce music. So there are many different ideas. And then we have also data analysis projects. So in this case, we provide data sets from very interesting recordings. So we have, for example, data sets from stroke patients who underwent the neurorehabilitation procedure, and you can try to analyze the data faster, more robustly, more accurately, whatever you have in mind, or you just benchmark your own algorithm with another one. And then we have data from coma patients or patients with disorders of consciousness, locked-in patients, completely locked-in patients. You can try to get information out of the brain, biomarkers, or just for communication. And we have also ECOG recordings from neurosurgeons who implanted electrodes. Normally, it's very difficult to get a hold of invasive data, and in the hackathon, you get data sets, and you can analyze it with your own algorithms. And very important for all these data sets is also that we have scientific publications uploaded to Slack, so you can actually read what we were doing with the data so far, and then you can work on your own algorithm to make it better, or just to have a comparison. And this results also very often in scientific papers afterwards, so the teams work together to summarize what they did during the hackathon, and they get very nice scientific papers. And if you work on the programming projects or the computer game projects, then you get also to know many other people from different countries, different universities, and they become friends and they visit each other. And it's also a very good opportunity to meet a nice supervisor where you can maybe do your master or PhD studies in the future.
Yes, so many amazing opportunities, and I know that people start as a group, then during the next hackathon they are creating their own project, then they already are integrating this into their master thesis. Yes, because it's developing, they're using it as a stepping stone for further work. So it's amazing what these hackathons have to offer. And we have people already writing to us here. Some of them used Unicorn Hybrid Black. Sala Makabel says that she used probably during the hackathon. If you didn't use it during hackathon, Sala, please make sure you connect and participate in the hackathon. Then we have a question from Umair Arshad. Any hosting institutions in UK for the hackathon? And maybe where they can find this information. Yes, Christoph. Mm-hmm.
So maybe I share my screen and I can show you. So you should now see the hackathon website.
Yes.
So it's right now, and if you click here on the menu Spring School 2025, then you can actually see it's happening on May, the 3rd of May and 4th of May, 2 days long. And we have also prizes for the best gaming project, for the best programming and artistic projects, and best data analysis projects. So you can win up to $1,000. So the money is distributed to all the team members. And then there's some general information. So we are very often using the Unicorn Hybrid Black because it's so easy to use. And here you can see the registered hosts at the moment. So we are getting more, but these guys confirmed so far. So we have GTech in Austria, we have Amsterdam, Mariam. She's always getting a lot of people together in her lab. They are really advanced in brain-computer interfacing, and they are also winning very often. Then we have Denmark in Copenhagen, Tilburg University in the Netherlands, Abu Dhabi, Timisoara in Romania. We have Mexico, Vancouver, Hangzhou, with 2 locations. Then we have Tennessee, Cali in Colombia, South America. That's very nice. We have Sweden, Ontario in Canada, and Melbourne in Australia, and Columbia University in New York. So you can see it's already very well distributed. Up to now, we don't have anybody from UK, but of course there's a very strong Neurotech X community, and I would be more than happy if somebody organizes or becomes a host in UK, so that people in London, for example, could also attend.
Yeah, so I think it's all about initiative. Yeah, so Umair Arshad, if you are interested, you want to facilitate, I think that's possible. Yeah, so if somebody takes initiative to connect people, to start organizing the event, that might become a already permanent place for people to do hackathons, because hackathons happens every year and several even times a year, as I know. So yes, if you are up to this initiative, you can do it. You can definitely do it. And then we have another question from Ionis Balasis. Will we be in groups randomly divided by you or not for the hackathons?
Maybe I should answer that. So there are different ways of getting registered. So first of all, you have to go to the Preneo website, and then you can find different projects. Maybe I also show it. So I share the screen again. So if you scroll down a little bit more, then you can see suggested topics for BCI gaming, like shooting games, sports games, strategy games, many more. Here you can also suggest your own gaming project, so you can come in with your own idea. Then we have programming projects. You can control prosthetic devices, you can analyze streams, you can use functional near-infrared spectroscopy and EEG to do something. And for the data analysis, you can work on the stroke rehab, unresponsive wakefulness data. And on the artistic projects, we have, for example, painting with the unicorn, creating the computer graphics for visual arts and so on. And here you can click on apply for this team, and then you can see we have basically 2 teams with 8 team members reserved for shooting games. 3 people are already registered. Let's say your team consists of 5 people, then you would just click here on apply for this team, and you would register all 5 people for the team. If you're 8 team members, you can register a full team just from your university. Or if you're alone, then you can tell us which team actually you would like most. Then we try to merge you into a team. This is something that we have to check out, because if, let's say, 7 people are working in Amsterdam, then it's difficult to merge somebody in from South America, because the time difference is so big. We also have to look at skills. So teams must be able to do something. If everybody is a newcomer and cannot program, for example, then it doesn't make so much sense to work on a Unity game where Unity programming is required. But if we have a couple of Unity programmers, and let's say a graphics guy comes in who designs the Unity environment together with the programmers, then this becomes very useful. So we try to merge the expertise together, but of course you can suggest team members that you want to have. And sometimes, not very often, but sometimes it's really difficult, because some people register but they don't appear for different reasons. Then it can also happen that you are left at the end alone. But during the hackathon, we can also merge you into other teams. Or if you don't like the spirit of a team, or you would like to work on another topic, we can just merge you somewhere else. So I have a couple of guys working in Slack during the hackathon, and you can always ask them for advice, and they can shift you around so that you are having fun at the end. But you have to let us know. So you should not sit still for 24 hours and nobody appears. Let us know, and we merge you into a productive team.
Yeah.
Christoph, if you allow me to add something.
Sure.
Yeah, some students, I have noticed that they're a little bit worried about this decision, like which project, no? And like Christoph just mentioned, we are flexible, and there is also sometimes circumstances to decide to change the project. So the important thing is to have an idea what we want to do, and then apply for one of the projects, because we need to estimate people. So no matter if they later switch the projects, that's not big deal, but it is very important to know who is going to participate. And I have experienced in the last 3 years hackathons that sometimes some of the projects are overwhelming or overloading for some participants, or like Christopher just mentioned, nobody in the team is able to program. So how are we going to do this? So students join other teams, or they ask other groups if they need support, and they just switch teams. So in this aspect, I think we have been very, very flexible about the teams. It's not completely fixed, but it is highly recommended to choose one so we can estimate better who is where. And of course, if participants are able to just join physically one of the hosting institutes, that's the best case.
And don't forget, the hackathon starts on day 6 of spring school, so the 5 days before, long 5 days before. And people are really active during these 5 days. So every day we get hundreds of questions that we answer. and people are also letting us know the name and where they are coming from. So use these 5 days to find already friends. And we have also a Slack channel where you can exchange information. And if you post, I want to work on robotic devices with the brain-computer interface, who wants to join my team, then you can form your own team with your friends or people you like beforehand. So there's plenty of time to organize it beforehand.
Yes, we have already some questions, some comments. So first of all, there is a question from Armando Canales Lima. Where is that website? I posted it just right now into the LinkedIn chat for the event, so you can find it there, Armando. And then we have a comment from Mohammed Walid Al Jalad. She says that originally he's from Syria, physically from Budapest, and this is his already third time participating in Spring School. And hopefully it's his third time in the hackathon too. And the last 2 times he worked on data analysis project with 300 speller and ECOG hand pose. So it's an invasive recording of brain activity, and he still has not decided on the project, but planning to join in person already this time. Yes, so just for everyone, it's a development. So first, just participate, just come and participate. Don't worry about anything. And then you will start seeing, okay, maybe I should choose another project. Maybe I should specialize in something. Maybe I can create my own project, or maybe I now can come and participate in person. Yes, and maybe even create that event, facilitate the event creation in your local school, yes, in your local place, university. So be active. That is very, very important. Yes, like David said, don't sit in one place. Yes, that you need to be active. Very good, very good. Excellent. What are the biggest challenges that you see usually during the hackathon, David, and how to prepare to overcome them for students?
Yeah, I would say this is for, I think, everyone, even if participants that have been already in more hackathons or first time hackathons, the timeline, the deadline, they only have really these 24 hours. And if there is some step in the project that they didn't realize to organize it on their time schedule, then at the end they will have they will be not so happy about the results, because time is a clear important parameter to consider during the hackathon. And my background is student initiative, no, and as we were all students, maybe Christo longer than me, long time ago, we like to start researching something, and it's a lot of neuroscientist students. They think, wow, this is a cool project, I will be working on that, but then the time is limited. So if the participants are not really realizing that they will have to spend all the entire time only on this project, and don't go outside, don't go party for that night, so realizing time is really super limited. And I think I have seen this in the majority of cases, at least from also other students that joined. They thought like, okay, I will start maybe 4 or 5 hours in participating in the hackathon, and that will be enough to deliver something that I will be satisfied. But no, that's not the case. The projects are also complex, and they need their time and preparation.
Yeah. So the time is of an essence. Yes, that's very important. Please, everyone, remember. And now I would like to ask all of you to look at the website, at the hackathon website. Yes, everyone who is listening to us, look and see. Maybe you already see the project you want to participate in, and put it into the chat. We want to see, yes, what you're interested in. What would you like to do? If you have an interesting idea, also please bring it into the chat. And we have several more questions already. So what if I do not own a unicorn device and institution cannot provide one? I think we talked about that it's possible to analyze the data. Yes. Would you like, Christoph, to talk a little bit more about the data sets that are available for people to analyze?
Sure, that's not necessarily a problem, because in a team from different locations you can work on the application without having a device at every single location. So we try to put teams together that at least one or two people have a device. So it can be different brain-computer interface. The Unicorn Hybrid Black is just a very easy one to use. As easy as it can be to get high-quality EEG data. But if one person is able to run the experiment, that's actually good enough for testing an application. And for example, in Unity, you can work on the computer game, on the simulation that you want to do at home. And then you just contribute the Unity project to a team member who has the device. Somebody else plugs it together, and then you can conduct an experiment. During the hackathon, it's just very important that you videotape your experiments, your expertise. You should take pictures, because at the end you have to make a presentation and you should speak about your development process. Within 24 hours, of course, we don't expect that everything is running perfectly, because it's a very short time. So you can also win if you got a very nice idea and if you developed a very nice concept. And of course, if nobody has a computer piece or a brain-computer interface, then you can always work on signal processing techniques. So you just choose one of the data sets you like. So they are dealing with different brain-computer interface approaches like multimetry, P300, N200, steady-state visual evoked potentials, code-based visual evoked potentials, and high gamma activation in ECOG data. And whatever is more interesting for you, select it and apply your algorithms.
Yes, so many opportunities and creative ways of analyzing the data, yes, and participating in already ongoing project, adding your unique part to it. Very good. Yes, so
If
everyone
I,
can
if
participate.
I
Yes,
would like
David.
to add also something, Milena, if it's fine, for everyone that will be interested to work on the projects that require a BCI device, and they have no way to get access to one or not get access to one of the hosting institutions, maybe the participants can just write in their Discord groups, maybe in the nearest location, maybe to contact other participants. They are going definitely to work with one BCI device, and then they will know which projects they can join, uh, maybe in a location that is near to their home universities. So use the Discord channel to get in contact to other students, and then you can be sure, maybe if you have no facilities, maybe you can get in contact to somebody who is definitely going to have access to a BCI device, and then join their group.
Yes, excellent advice. Excellent advice. So initiative, initiative, initiative. That's the key. Okay. And now another question from Anastasia Polivkova is, how plausible is productive hackathon while having the full-time studies at university? Who can talk about that?
The hackathon is on purpose on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So normally universities are shut down on these days. Of course, in Israel, they work on our Sunday. But it's not possible to cover every single country with this concept. But normally Saturday and Sunday are free to join the hackathon. The spring school on the other days, the 1 to 5 and 8, 9, and 10 are doing the weekdays, but it's also video recorded. And we can leave the videos for 2 weeks on YouTube, and then you can rewatch the lectures that you actually missed. And don't forget that some universities are giving you credits for the spring school. So we have many countries and many universities that accept spring school as part of the curriculum. So speak with your professor, ideally already beforehand, show them the program and ask them how many ECTS credits you can get at your university for participating. And maybe they free you also from the standard university lectures, or maybe the whole professor with the whole students group can join the spring school Then you get also credits, which would be, of course, very nice.
Yes, thank you, Christoph. And Umar Arshad is asking, can we apply to more than one project in case the first choice team is full on the experiences or the experiences don't align?
So normally at the beginning, you should apply for one team. And so you have to make a choice because otherwise it gets really complicated. Don't forget, we will have about 600 people who are joining the hackathon. And if everybody selects 2 or even more teams, then it's becoming a mess who is actually working where. So start with a team. And if you want to move to another one, you can do it yourself afterwards in Slack very easily. But please register only for one.
Thank you, Christoph. And like you mentioned, the hackathon is only a part of this large event of the BCI Spring School. Maybe you can provide an overview of what is out there, what will we have possibility to learn during the spring school, what's expected this year. And while you are speaking, maybe our viewers can write what you are looking in learning during spring school, what topics are of interest to you. Yes, just a quick sentence. I'm interested in this, interested in that. Yes, yeah, Christoph.
So every single day has a certain topic. Day one is, for example, cutting edge brain-computer interfaces. So we invited many different speakers from famous universities. So we were making sure that the top universities of the world are presented at Spring School to have top level education. And then we have many personal contacts to very good BCI researchers, also from companies, from big companies, smaller companies, from research centers. And we just invited speakers which have very nice projects. And it gives a very nice overview of whatever is happening in the BCI space. We have also the BCI award winners, so the first place, second place, and third place winners are always giving a presentation every year at Spring School. This is also very nice because an international jury selected these guys as the best BCI project of the year. And it's fascinating what they can actually achieve nowadays. And the second day, for example, is neuromodulation. So this is an invasive day where neurosurgeons and neurologists are implanting deep electrodes or ECOG electrodes, and you can learn what you can do. Third day is gaining more resolution. So here we look at fMRI scanners, FNIRs, the Pangolin system with 1024 channels. And throughout the days, we have also with live demonstrations. So we are showing real experiments so that you learn how to assemble EEG electrodes, FNIRS electrodes, how to conduct an experiment, how to analyze the data, how to switch on the BCI system. And this is very important because it's a very practical education, which is also helping a lot for your future endeavors. And so on day 8, it's all about recoveries and neuromodulation. So on this day, we are showing how brain-computer interfaces are used for neurorehab. Different patients groups like stroke, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson, Alzheimer. So a very interesting day. Day 9 is about locked-in patients with disorders of consciousness. So we show you how you can use BCI technologies for them. The last day is actually functional mapping and cortical network mapping, very hot topic. And we have also world experts from Mayo Clinic, from famous hospitals in Japan, so all over the world, Harvard University, talking about high gamma mapping and how they are using it for children, adults, tumor patients, epilepsy patients. So it's always very nice to be in contact with all these neurosurgeons.
Yeah, amazing program and top universities from around the world. That's absolutely amazing. And Dr. Rutkowski, did you see any impact that the Spring School created for your students? Did it help them in any way for their career development, for their education, specifically in BCI and Neurotech?
Yes, definitely. It's very inspiring. They can see many, many projects. Basically, they ask better questions. They see what could be done. Quite often, like, we have to go outside the lab. We have certain projects, but you have to go outside. And here with the Spring School, you don't have to go outside. You just switch on computer and you can do it. So very often they are programming something and the Spring School is running like in a laboratory as a kind of inspiration. So it's quite good. As I said, there is opportunity to ask questions, and you ask questions to really top researchers. Like, quite often students are too shy to do it at the conference, but here is just chat. In the chat, you can ask questions, and those top guys very often answer very nice those questions, very inspiring answers also. So it's really worth to do it, like, it's really kind of opening their minds.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Everything starts with the question, right question, and a great opportunity to network. Yes, to connect with the brightest minds in the world. And people are asking, are we getting a certificate or something for the Spring School?
So during Spring School, we are getting about 10,000 questions over the 10 days. And the most asked question is, how can I get my certificate? I think it's 2,000 out of 10,000. So actually, you can get the certificate in the last session, on the last day, if you participated all the talks. And then you get the participation certificate. In the last hour, we're also running a test, an exam, where we have very difficult questions. People always complain how difficult it is, but I always get 100 out of 100 points if I do it, so it cannot be so difficult. And then your name is listed on the certificates and how many points you actually got out of 100. And with this participation certificate and also the exam, you can go to your professor, to your university, and you can actually get the ECTS points. You're also getting a certificate for the Brain-Computer Interface Hackathon, for the participation, and of course the winning teams, first place, second place, and third place winners are also getting a certificate. And very important is also to post these certificates on LinkedIn or on Instagram, because we have also a social media challenge. And on LinkedIn, the person with the highest number of engagements is actually winning a Unicorn Hybrid Black. I think David was one of the winners a couple of years ago when he was back in Aachen in Germany. And in the social media challenge on Instagram, for example, you can make a video about you watching Spring School. And this is always very funny because people are really creative during these 140 hours, and it's a lot of fun to watch these videos and the contributions. And then we are just going to make a vote on Zoom. So the attendees can select the winner for the social media challenge. And important to know is also that the university or the lab who brings the biggest team of Spring School attendees can also win a Unicorn mini kit. So this means you get 4 Unicorn Hybrid Black sets. This is just a very nice setup for education in your own university or lab or doing research, because then you can actually educate 20 students at the same time with 4 brain-computer interfaces. And for that, we are just looking for the most team members coming from one lab.
Yes, thank you, Christoph. And we have here Sala Mokabel saying that she made her bachelor thesis about BCI Unicorn controlling a robotic hand to open and close. So that's a great example. So to start, yes, with the BCI Spring School to learn how everything works, then try yourself practically in the hackathon, and then already develop your project and include it in your thesis. I think that's amazing application of all this knowledge, yes, and outcome, which you can demonstrate then to a potential employer and say, okay, this is the project that I've done and I learned, I have this knowledge, I have skills, I'm ready to work for your company. Yes, very good. The hackathon prize sum is for each team member or for the team to distribute?
No, it's for the whole team. So if it's a large team, it's not so much for every single one. But if you are, for example, together at the host, then it's actually buying you a lot of beers if you are celebrating after the hackathon when you are winning. So when we had the hackathon in Banff, the price of one beer was 70 Canadian dollars. They got 1,000 US dollars. So you got almost 1,500 beers, and this was a very nice party for the whole conference afterwards.
Yes, thank you very much. And as we're nearing the end of our event today, maybe each of you can offer certain suggestion, the last suggestion of how to best prepare to the event, to the BCI Spring School and the hackathon. Who would like to start? Dr. Rutkowski? Yes, Thomas.
Repeat. I had some connection problem. Could you repeat the question?
Yes. So the last suggestion to our listeners, viewers, on how the best to prepare for the event and hackathon.
Sleep a lot before, be prepared, because it's a really long session. Prepare big coffee and be ready. You can make breaks, but I think it's really worth to watch it online because you can ask questions, you can really interact. If you have ideas, prepare questions because sometimes it's very good to be prepared, and enjoy very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rutkowski. David?
Yeah, I will highly suggest everyone, and maybe it sounds very, very simple, but I have experienced that a lot of hackathon participants, they don't really realize this other 8 days of free education. So just to highlight, once you are in the Brain.io website, there is the link of the Spring School, and there is this huge amount of content. What Christoph just mentioned, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, with all the subjects, with all the presenters. And I highly recommend everyone who is going to listen to them to their own research, what they are going to present, because they are going to have only 45, maybe 60 minutes time to present whatever they are doing that is a state of art BCI. And it is always nice to find out which topics are really most interesting for me. So I highly recommend everyone to dedicate a little bit time for preparation, to check out a little bit in detail who are these presenters, who are their backgrounds, and maybe I also I always recommend that to add the people that are pretty relevant to possible research areas on LinkedIn and directly hi, like Milena, I listened to your talk today during the hackathon or during the BCI Spring School, and I found interesting in blah, and do the connections directly with the researchers that are in the areas that they are also interested to join. So yeah, dedicate time to check out this time and join the Discord group as soon as possible and check out from the last hackathons, because this is not a new event, has been holding for so long time that is getting better and better, and there is a lot of information already on the Discord channel.
Yes, great suggestion. I also want to emphasize that and add that, especially if you are not sure of what field are you interested in, where to specialize in BCI, that's an amazing opportunity. Go through all those days of BCI, see what resonates with you, and specifically target that area, connect with people after they present. It's very nice when people are connecting and saying, we listened, we like this and this, we have these questions, yes. So, and start specializing in that specific area, but take an overview, a general overview, because you will be able then start connecting things already with this specific specialization. So take advantage of it for your next steps in your career development in neurotech and brain-computer interfaces. If you need some advice, you're always welcome to contact me. I have free consultations and I can advise you how to take advantage of this event even further. So please, I'm always welcoming people. And Christoph, your last words today for our participants on how best to take advantage of the event.
Yeah, keep in mind that we only invited people who have a lot of experience. If you listen, for example, to a talk from Tomek, then you're listening to somebody who worked for 25 years on brain-computer interfaces, so he knows everything about the topic that he's doing. It's the same for the other speakers, so only people with a lot of experience working on a certain topic were invited. And when I was studying at Johns Hopkins University in the US, one semester was about 140 hours long. Then the semester ended. That's the reason why I selected 140 hours for spring school. So it's exactly the length of one semester at Johns Hopkins University. And this university is charging at the moment about $55,000 for one semester. So I just multiplied the attendees last year times 55K. And this gives something like $5 billion of education that we are giving here for free. So use the opportunity to learn from the best or see what's around and select a topic that you like most, because don't forget, every single speaker works for his whole life on one certain topic. And there's just not enough time for you to work on all the 140 different topics that we are presenting. So you have to make a very good selection. If you're doing your PhD about this topic, you will stick with that because you will not want to leave it again. So be careful to learn beforehand what's out and then select what you like most.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And probably we will answer other questions in the chat, in the LinkedIn chat. But for now, I hope you received all the information that was available, and we're looking forward to seeing you at Spring School 2025. Bye-bye, everyone.
See you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Don't miss my
Bye-bye.
lecture. Bye-bye.
David and Tomix, thank you very much. Sleep well.
Great. Thank you. Good night from Tokyo.
Must be
Bye,
late.
Lucky. Say goodbye, Lucky. Bye.
Oh, cool. So nice.
That's nice.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.